Good morning, Nick Ayton here on my morning walk. As you can see behind me, it's a coastal walk, and at the moment we're talking about investment, capital, raising funding. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a founder, how do you get access to capital? How do you track it down? And we've been talking about the Middle East, in fact, and the nuances of navigating the region, which is tricky, the nuances of how to engage with families and how to treat them, how to engage with all investors there, not just families, but also the approach as well. It is tricky to navigate, and they expect to see you and they want to see your face time and again. But here's the real thing. If you go to the region and say, give me $20 million to invest in my project, assuming your project's got some traction, you've got real product, and ideally you've got customers, some customer income. If you don't, then it is more tricky to raise capital, because the region likes proof. They like to know that what you have works and that there's a market for it. And arguably, most investors want the same. So we can touch on that later. But the validation and proof comes with, show me as part of your pitch to a family or an investor in the Middle East. They don't want to go on a Zoom call and go through a deck. They're not interested. They'd much rather hear an impassioned talk or speech about why you've created this and how you feel and which direction it's going and what you need the capital for. And it's really important to get that passion and energy across. And we've put a variety of different entrepreneurs and founders in front of investors, and the energy hasn't been there. And therefore the project has, the opportunity, the funding cycle has stalled somewhat. Equally, we put founders on in front of families that just sell too hard, sell too early, and they're not sensitive to the cultural differences, and they blow it. And yet they've got a perfectly good proposition, but they just haven't bothered to sense check and sanitize their approach to the region, to the regional differences. So, there's a lot of opportunity in the region, and once you're on the ground, which we'll talk about next, there's things you can and there's things you shouldn't do. And there's lots of ways of engaging with people who are amazing people, actually, that do get it. They are tech savvy, they are very entrepreneurial, they're very innovative, and they're incredibly nice people. But you have to find a way of tuning into their thought process and their wavelength, which we'll talk about next. Bye for now.